Hello, and thanks for joining us for this talk with Dr. Michael Laitman. Today we're going to talk about the LGBT community. Hello, Dr. Laitman. Hello, Gal. And let's begin. In recent years, we had many different activities with the LGBT community. You also came to Tel Aviv in order to give a lecture to the gay community. We have a Facebook page called Kabbalah for all colors, but still, we feel we more or less know what your opinion is, but still, on part of the community, we feel that there's different stigmas regarding Kabbalah, because people relate it to religion. And we'd like to break these stigmas. We also hear that there are many rabbis that are against the gay community. There are also those that support it, but in general there is a lot of negativity. So we'd like to understand what is the attitude of the wisdom of Kabbalah towards the gay community. The wisdom of Kabbalah doesn't relate to any subject. It speaks about the soul. How should a person develop the root of the soul that exists in every person, in Jews and non-Jews, regardless of what sex or inclination a person has? If it's a person, then that's enough. He has the root of his soul, and this is what the wisdom of Kabbalah deals with. And therefore, when we study, we don't relate to the sexual inclinations that people have. Maybe there is a different inner problem here, that in our teaching, we differentiate men from women, so there won't be any disturbances, because really the disturbances, they're between men and women, so that a person's attention won't be distracted by sex, while he has to be engaged in the correction of his soul that we're learning about. This is on the one hand. On the other hand, if we don't differentiate those that are interested in women and those that are interested in men, then here they themselves can experience a disturbance among them. And this is something that we pay no attention to. We leave it to them to arrange it however they please. This is something that I don't know about, something that I'm not engaged in. We only separate men and women according to their physiology, not according to their inclinations. There's a question about how does Kabbalah interpret the biblical prohibition about a man having sex with another man. The wisdom of Kabbalah interprets the Kabbalah and the Tanakh only spiritually wise. There's no corporeality, there's no body. The body is the person's desire. And therefore, the Torah doesn't speak about our world at all. We also learned this morning, and yesterday, and in the past few days especially. The Torah does not relate to a person's body, but only to his soul. A person's body, it means a person's desires. And the desires that a person uses egoistically towards himself, that's called his corporeal body. If a person turns his desires in order to bestow to others, that's called his spiritual body or his soul. This is how we relate to everything. We're actually completely disconnected from any physical anatomy, psychology, sexuality of this world, and so on. And therefore we completely disconnect the person that's engaged in the wisdom of Kabbalah, that's engaged with his soul, that builds his soul actually, because to begin with, none of us have a soul, only the root. We call it a point. And the root of the soul exists in every one of us. And there are special actions, special kind of training, by which We can develop the soul from the point, and inside the soul, inside this corrected desire of ours, we'll start feeling the upper reality. This is what the wisdom of Kabbalah is all about. And so to me, it doesn't matter who's sitting in front of me. What kind of inclinations does a person have? It has nothing to do with the subject that we're studying and the actions that we have to perform. Just like it doesn't matter to me whether a man maybe has relations with many women or women that do the same. It doesn't matter. It's of no interest to me. So, is there some kind of a spiritual explanation to this sentence? Yes. First of all, it speaks of what's going on inside the person. The wisdom of Kabbalah speaks only about the person and what's going on inside of him. Man is a small world, and so inside the person, the connection should always be between male and female and the different correct forms, because it's the will to receive and the will to bestow, or the will to receive with a screen and so on. It's a person's inner psychology. In order to study the wisdom of Kabbalah, I actually don't need anyone. I need other people to help me start working with myself, inside my thoughts, desires, intentions, and therefore the body and its physiology and its inclinations, it doesn't matter. It's something that the wisdom of Kabbalah never dealt with. Especially the kinds of inclinations that we're talking about here. They always exist in a certain percent of society, more or less, depends on the period. Kabbalah never spoke about this. So this is why the biblical prohibition is about males and not females. The prohibition is about what happens inside the person, meaning that our desires and our intentions, the way the Torah speaks about it, meaning about a person's inner desires and intentions. The Torah explains about the desires and their intentions inside a person, and with which I can work in order to bestow to others, by which I can feel godliness, and in what way I can't and even might harm myself. But it has nothing to do with other people. Were I to live on some deserted island like Robinson Crusoe, then I would get along very well and would be able to realize the wisdom of Kabbalah fully. So the wisdom of Kabbalah doesn't talk about the body at all. Not at all. I'm telling you, even if a person's born without any sexual inclinations, or God forbid, a part of his body is missing, the main thing are the inner desires that we have to arrange, usually for the benefit of others, to all the time come out of self-love and onto the love of others. This is what the wisdom of Kabbalah speaks about. We know that about 10% of the people in the world have a different sexual inclination than heterosexuality. Does this community have a special role in the general system? Meaning, is it a different spiritual root, and if so, what is it? I don't think that a person should relate to it in any special way. I see that humanity, the more we advance, and I've been around in this world for 70 years already, and I saw different kinds of relations in society, and relations between different kinds of societies. I think that we're advancing towards a state where people pay less and less attention to all the corporeal, bodily differences between people. And I hope that our relationships will become more and more important for us, where not only that we'll want to stand each other, but to accept each other as we are. And if nature, which is God, the upper force, created a man with a certain special inclination, different from another person, then whether it's 10% of these and 90% of those, it doesn't mean anything. If this is how it is, we have to accept it and to know that every phenomenon in nature, as the wisdom of Kabbalah teaches us, there's room for it, and we mustn't pressure a person. There's no coercion in anything. But to the extent to which a person wants, if he doesn't harm others, it's forbidden for us to relate to that person as something exceptional. The truth is, I don't know which of my friends, of my students, have what inclinations. If they don't tell about it, it's their own business. This is how it was with the Rabash, my teacher. That later on turned out that 2 or 3 they had such inclinations. Women weren't that involved in our society, only men. But he gave it no special attention. Meaning there's no difference. Right. We talked to many people about this, and you can see it especially on women, less on men, where women say that I'm not attracted to a person's externality. I can be attracted to the same extent to a man or a woman. What counts is their personality. Obviously. The way it seems to me, the way I feel people, according to my profession, according to the wisdom of Kabbalah, 90% of the women that are interested in other women, it's because they can't find a friend in a man. And therefore, suddenly she sees that she has a girlfriend that can satisfy her emotionally, physically, as a friend, as a loyal person. They understand each other in a way that she won't find in a man. A man is not developed enough to express the same emotions that a woman can. And therefore it seems to me that the disappointment from the man is, in most cases, the reason for a woman wanting another woman, because there she can find what she's looking for. We talked about it. I don't know if this spiritual connection, but eventually on the lessons we say that you're not supposed to see the bodies. You're supposed to see something more internal, a connection. And it's felt more on women. They look more at a person's internality, less saying whether it's a man or a woman. Right, but the problem is that men can't satisfy the need that a woman has towards them. They can't satisfy a woman emotionally. A man who knows how to do it, regardless of who and what he is, how does he look, he'll be very favored, truly loved. That's the problem. It's the education of men. We have to work with them in order to explain to them what do women need. With women, it's a bit of a different problem than with men. Do you think that couples from the LGBT community should make an effort to have children? If they want to, if they're sure that they can keep living this way for many years, raising a child, and they can consult others from the community that already did this. And they have to see whether they can relate to this seriously, and if so, why not? It's all according to what they decide on. But it's necessary to help them scrutinize these things so that later on there won't be any mistakes. Because we can't play around with a baby, a child that we're raising. And we also have to understand, can we explain to that person who we are, that this is how his parents are, and what kind of impact does it have on those children if suppose they're straight. And then how will we raise that child? What education do you give him? Yeah. And to what extent will he be influenced by us, or will he grow apart from us, or won't he? These are problems that I'm not getting into, but I understand that there are many questions about this. There are many questions about parenting altogether. So there's only ads. On the other hand, from what I see, people who have these kinds of mutual inclinations, they have the ability to solve many problems. They have the willingness to see the problems and solve them. These are people that pay attention to these things. They're dealing with these things. And if the, so to speak, normal people, those that aren't a part of the gay lesbian community, would have dealt with the different social problems this way, society would have been completely different. You know how to take care of yourselves much better than other people. That's interesting. I see that the gay community, people from the gay community, they're sensitive. They pay attention. They talk to each other. They want to solve problems. They're searching for solutions. This community is a well-organized community, a community that cares about itself, about others that are in the same situation that I'm in. Other people don't have that. This is something that we can learn from. The sense of community is strong. Yes, it's very good. There's always a feeling that you can get help, there's someone to turn to, get guidance and so on. This general sense of community, it's something to be envious of. I'd like to ask about teenagers that feel that they're gay, and in many cases parents simply don't know how to cope with it. And in some cases, it draws the parents and the children apart. And also I'd like to say about the parades, that there are certain problems with them. It many times gives a person who feels that he's alone the feeling that he is a part of something bigger, that he's not alone. But why alone? You have centers everywhere. Even if I live in a little city, I can find there a small community. Right, today it changed. It's much different than it used to be. It's much more open, and teenagers have where to turn to and who to talk to. But there are teenagers that committed suicide because they felt that they're gay and they didn't know how to cope with it. So I'd like to know, what do you think? What should be the parents' attitude towards these teenagers? I don't know. I think that you should have many explanations about it on the internet, that if a person feels such an inclination at the age of 13 or 14, what should they do in this case? I think that the internet is a very special tool that you have today by which you can approach everyone and prevent these things. And also the parents, to turn to them through the internet, through the written media, through television, that if there are such problems and the people themselves identify it, meaning teenagers or the parents see it on their children, so they'll know where to turn to and what to do, so it won't end in a tragic way, like you said, that people commit suicide. So there are things that you can do. There's a stigma that Kabbalah has to do with religion, and the community feels revulsion towards religion. First of all, Kabbalah has nothing to do with religion. No one knows better than you do. This is on the one hand. And on the other hand, I don't know. I can explain again and again. I can give another lecture to your community in your center like I did before. No problem. I appreciate people according to how much they develop their soul. Soon, we have a Congress coming up in February. Would you like to invite the friends from the gay community? The Congress is open for everyone. I'm not inviting anyone in specific. But, as always, we're open for everyone, and we're happy to see everyone, man, woman, doesn't matter. If a person wants to know what the wisdom of Kabbalah is and to come closer to it, the wisdom of Kabbalah is willing to accept everyone. This is something that I want for everyone to know, and therefore we're happy to have everyone. You know that. I don't know, it's not something that we think about. This is a special place where it is truly so. A person who takes care of his soul, their body, doesn't interest us. Recently you had a talk with a very well-known radio personality in Canada. Yeah, he is very well-known. He has a radio show, he has many things. I talked to him, he was actually very happy about our talk, and soon I have to go there again because of my mother. She's not well. I'll be there and I'll meet him. He invited me to give another interview on the radio, on his show. There's such people. I meet them in different places in the world. Many of them are media personalities. And I have no problem with that. And I also don't see that they accept me in any weird way or the wisdom of Kabbalah. They're open for everything. In Israel, really, there's a kind of a distortion. So we understand that the Torah, it doesn't speak about our world, but still we know that when a couple get married, it says man and woman divinity between them and so on. He can tell you what man and woman divinity between them means. Yeah, we learned it on the morning lesson. It's all inside one person. It's not between two people. My question is, if there is a couple of the same sex, can they reach such a degree of connection like there is between a man and a woman? No, a man and a woman can't reach anything either, only a person with himself. So this is something very current. We learned about it on today's lesson. So I was really happy to talk to you about these things, and we can meet again, and whatever way you choose. And I'll be very happy if your entire community will know about the wisdom of Kabbalah, and that I'm willing to meet you and give lectures. And for me, a soul that exists in anybody is a special soul. I pay no attention to the body, but the soul. This is my profession. Good luck, and may you ascend spiritually. Thank you very much, Dr. Rav Michael Laitman. Thank you, Gal. Thank you, Yossi.